So we're moving into SBA export loan products and XIM solutions and products. Starting with SBA, again, you have links to everything we discussed today here. You have short summary on how to apply for an SBA export loan, what are the qualifications, and how can you use the funds. We're going to go through this quite fast. SBA is a federal agency. They offer enhanced loan guarantees to support direct and indirect exports. So if your products are being sold internationally by another company, you may qualify for an export loan from SBA. You can use the loan in different areas to finance your cost of goods for one or more foreign purchase order, increasing your competition, to finance your equipment and facility expansion, increase your sales prospects and export markets, obtain general line of credits. Line of credits are available for export purposes, covering your cost of developing the foreign markets, especially in e-commerce development. You could apply for an SBA loan to cover your cost of e-commerce development and finance your standby letter of credits. There are 3 different loans. Export Express, you could get approved if you meet the eligibility. If you locate the right lender, maybe your bank offers export loans, make sure whoever you're working with at the bank, it's a bank that deals with international trade loans. They deal with export, they understand export. These are very different programs that the regular Export 7A and other export loan program, other loans from SBA. So you want to work with somebody who has experience in international trade. So you have 3 options. Export Express, it's approved usually within 36 hours, it's up to 500,000. Export Working Capital Program, it takes about 10 business days and it goes up to 5 million. The guarantee, there's 75 through 90% guarantee, for example. For the Export Express is 75% guarantee up to 350, 90% after 350. So there's a lot of details for you to keep in mind. International trade loan up to 5 million. This one takes a little bit more time to process. I prepared these charts from the SBA experts in California. Jeff Dees was very kind to share all this information with us, and this basically summarizes the Export Express loan, who qualifies for this loan, what are the guarantee fees, what's the maximum interest rate. So for up to 50,000 prime plus 6.5, that's the maximum. It doesn't mean it's your job to negotiate with the banker to have the lower interest rate, but SBA does put a maximum cap. Maturity, depending if you're doing a line of credit, if you're doing a term loan, how you can use the proceeds, and what is the guarantee from SBA. You have all the information here. Keep in mind, for the Export Express, you apply to the lender, so you apply to the bank, and the lender for Export Express, they don't even have to contact SBA. They have the delegated authority to give you the loan if you qualify. However, I will always first go to SBA and make sure I talk to the local SBA representative. What I want to bring your attention for the SBA Export Express loan is that starting recently this year, one of the purposes for authorized for the loan is export development. So implementing your export strategy, all of the work that goes into that, like your website globalization, all the e-commerce cost and trade show and trademark and legal compliance and licensing and logistical needs and export credit insurance, anything that has to do with developing your international strategy will now qualify under the SBA Export Express loan. SBA Export Working Capital, again, this one is up to 5 million. You have all the information you need here, who qualifies, how to apply. This one you have to apply to the bank, and the bank will then turn and apply to SBA. That's pretty much other than Export Express, that applies to all SBA export loans. Here's a summary for you to understand. It guarantees maximum 90%. The terms is 12 months or less if you're getting a revolving line of credit. And the turnaround time is 5 to 10 days. And it can be used in your export-related inventory and receivable in the collateral. So remember, you are your SBA is not a bank. They offer guarantee. You are dealing with the bank. So the bank will have their own underwriting process, and they do have requests for collateral as well. But SBA guarantee supports you when it comes to collateral. Then we go into international trade loan, up to 5 million, up to 25 years maturity. So that's, this is a longer term loan, and it takes about 10 business days to get approved if you qualify and meet all the eligibility. Here's a quick summary. And here's from my experience working with a lot of companies applying for this loan. I have a few wisdom to give to you on how to prepare to speak with the lender. Remember, you have like one chance to impress this lender, to let them know how prepared you are to take over the global markets. So make sure you spend the time to prepare before you talk to the lender. So these are all the documentation you need to prepare: your 3 years of balance sheet, profit loss statements, your year-to-date most recent fiscal quarter balance sheet and loss statements as well. Last 2 years of tax return is packed to be requested, statement of ownership, collateral. Again, you're dealing with banks, so they have to make sure that you will have a way to repay the loan. Any other commercial debt and other creditors you have, they want to know about that. Financial projections. Your capital plan is important. How do you plan to use this money and profit? A brief export plan. The bankers don't really care to read a long export plan. They just want to know the history of your business and how you're planning to expand globally, and how industry experience for the CEOs and the principal officers is usually helpful. How to apply for a loan. If we go back to the module, again, based on my experience working with many companies, this is a very important list for you to follow. Choose your SBA export loan product and determine your eligibility. Contact your local SBA office. If you click here on this link, it will take you to a page where you can contact your local SBA office. They really are there to support you, to help you understand which loan applies to you. They will look at, understand your financing, and will even introduce you to an SBA preferred lender. Ask to be introduced to an SBA preferred lender if your bank does not do international trade loans. Then what should you ask a lender? Make sure you negotiate with those lenders. Make sure you understand the interest rate, what is their minimum credit score. If you're a woman-owned or minority-owned business, for example, make sure you look in the community advantage lenders. They are now supported by SBA as well, so they will be able to offer you an export loan as well at really good interest rates. Make sure you understand what's the cash flow requirements for the lender, what other qualifying factors they have, and get an understanding of prepayment penalty, grace periods, when the lender can demand full repayment of the loan, and just prepare for meeting with the preferred lender. Make sure when you meet with the lender, you really impress the lender.